Good morning, everybody. I'm back, and today my topic is about employment. There are few key issues that we need to understand on political platform. And when we talk about politics, we have to talk about issues that concerns the people. And today I'm talking about employment. I know Europe is still too early. Maybe you have gone for work. I know America, you are still in midnight. I know Uganda, you are preparing for lunch. I know Asia, it's already evening. I know Australia, you are preparing for supper time. But it's high time we speak about employment because the biggest population, the biggest problem in Uganda is that we have got one of the highest unemployment in Uganda. But the government is running away, is not doing anything to create jobs. And my argument today, I'm here to make a case that a government must create jobs for its citizens. And it's a responsibility of a government to create jobs. What we see in Uganda, creation of jobs has become so daunting for the government of Uganda. Why? I'm going to explain why. Yet jobs which are created in Uganda, they are for killing people. You heard the young man Kumgisha saying he can kill for the president. And now we have got political jobs that people now is about politics. Is their career, is their job. It shouldn't be that way. But also, as you can see, Uganda, whether we are poor, whether we are third country, we have got a lot on our disposal to create jobs. The government to create jobs, decent jobs. I listened to one of the directors in Ministry of Finance, and he didn't know what a decent job is. Listen to him.
We've talked about jobs. Of course, there are two things, and I agree with you that we need decent jobs. And we are really trying to see how we can ensure that we have decent jobs in this country. One of the things is that you have a lot of people who are coming out, who are about 800,000 people who went into the job market. And you look at their skills, a lot of them have not been skilled. So if you want a decent job for these people, if you call it decent, I don't know. How would you get
Morning, Pam.
jobs?
Morning, Salim.
So what we are looking at and saying, okay, some people, of course, can work at jobs that are not very well paid, but as long as their human rights are recognized, they have right to a holiday, they have, to live, working hours are okay, working conditions are good. That we can start and then we negotiate as we go on with the pay, because you won't expect a pay to be as good. It's the marketing conditions that really determine. We really need decent jobs, and for me,
morning, Sally, morning, Pam.
The working conditions, how good are they? And then we look at the rights of the workers, and then we can talk about more pay, also reflecting the profitability of the business where people are working. I agree with you also when you talked about the budgeting. It is something that every year.
So let's get the numbers, because that is where I come from. I go by numbers. That is always my argument. Uganda has got one of the highest population. 70%, 75% of Uganda population, 45 million, they are people between the age of 15 and 30. And among that population, 83% they are unemployed. So what does the government do? What can Museveni explain to me? What do we know that the government is doing? They are not creating jobs. They are not looking at their biggest demography. They are not looking at their biggest number, the number which is going to work, and be able to support the economy and be able to develop Uganda, but they say they are in power. In power for what? I don't understand. I don't understand. It's a government responsibility to create a job. Any sensible government would create a job for its biggest population. As we stand for now in Uganda, the biggest population is the young people. And these are the people who are unemployed. When we look at Uganda, Uganda has become a slavery potato ground that they come by Ugandans, they take them abroad for slavery job. That it shouldn't be that way. Uganda got now the brain drain. The people who are doctors, they are in outside Uganda, they are doing security jobs. These are the people who come back with the anger. You go, you leave Uganda, you were a doctor, you go to diaspora, you start doing security job to survive, but that way they are well paying, and that anger and bitterness, you go back, you turn those guns on people. So I don't know security-wise if government of Museveni thinks about this. I have one biggest question from Museveni. Since he became a president in 1986, how many jobs has he created? Decent jobs, apart from politics, apart from killing people. How many decent jobs have they created? It's the biggest job. When I was looking at statistics, that unemployment has gone up by 2.4%. That is very big. But what does the government do? So my reasons, as I speak to you, I make the case the government is responsible for creating jobs. For these reasons, I'm gonna be talking few points because I know you have to go and work. Government has got a lot on its disposal. Number one is education, to make sure that education is accessible, affordable, universal, and quality. Because education, once you have it, it doesn't go away. Myself, when I look at myself back, I used to work in hospital as acting superintendent in Masaka Hospital. And I abandoned that. Now I'm back to work wherever in those hospital environments, but not like how as high as I used to work. So because knowledge I have it, it will never go away. And that was when I was the age of 22. So education is a foundation that we should build on our country. This is why our principle says the quad A, athletics, academics, arts, and agriculture. So we can't go into details. Number two, registration. The government at this point is struggling to make a credible register for voting, credible register for NIRA, credible register for registration. We have to register three things: birth, death, and marriage. Once you register that, you can't get it anywhere. And once you register NIRA, TIN number, they come automatically. And once you register, you know the kind of people you have. And that is how you can create, you can do things for people. Once you have got the numbers. When I went to Greece, it's a big country, very big. You on tourism, we take you to this village, there are 9 people, 3 women, 4 women. That is how it works, demography. It's not too much asking. These are the sort of jobs I want to create for young people. Once NUP come in power, we want to create a data entry, data bank that will never be erased, will never be manipulated, that we are going to do survey, we are going to write every Ugandan who was born in Uganda, and every Ugandan will have a unique number. So creation of jobs, it doesn't mean that today you create cooking, selling things. No, there is something, a foundation a government must do. Number 3, tax URA. A government must create a tax, pay what is reasonable for its population. The tax in Uganda is unbalanced. Now, for NUP, we shall give people TIN number. Once you are at the age of 16, you have that TIN number. Everybody will be accountable to pay taxes. So in Uganda, so many people, now they say only 700,000 people, they are the only people paying taxes. That is under a million. And they say telecom, they are the biggest taxpayers. So that is not balanced. We need to get it balanced, that everybody at any time you work, you start working, you have something, you pay tax. But in Uganda, tax, the way they set up taxes, sometimes they oppress the small businesses. But we want to bring some taxation. So if the government can give rebates to business people, will give affordable wherever. So taxation is within the government hands. There is no way to avoid this. Number 4, remuneration. Remuneration is how you are going to pay people. At this moment, Janet Museveni said her biggest achievement was to make teachers pay 380,000. That is her biggest achievement that she has made in education. That is not fit for purpose. You heard this gentleman, Director and Minister of Finance, is saying he doesn't know what a decent job is. Decent job, we must know what a decent job is. It's a job that pays you well, covers your bills, you can be able to go to work, you can save some money, you can have extra money, you can go out, that you are no longer in debt, or your decent job can make you access these incentives. You can buy a car, you can buy a house, you can have a mobile phone. These are the things we are going to bring in Uganda. But Museveni, there is a reason he's not creating jobs, because he knows he takes it as a threat. That is what he does. For him, he sees people who are educated, those who are employed, those who are rich, they are a threat to him. In actual sense, it is somehow a threat, because once you start working, a person like me, I call myself independent for so many reasons. But one of the reasons, because I work. Every money I spend, every money I earn is my money. I don't get somebody's money. You come with me, we go out, I pay my way out, or we discuss who is going to pay. I don't rely on any money. I don't rely on bribe. I don't rely on whatever. So it's money. So number 5, employment. With employment, the government can legislate laws. He can bring in minimum wage. Museveni said 3 years ago he cannot bring minimum wage because it will put off investors. But any investor who comes in Uganda and cannot pay minimum wage, under NUP will not be given a license to practice. Any investor who comes in Uganda will bring in a business, not to put down Ugandan business, not to rival Ugandan business, but to bring a healthy competition. So minimum wage is very, very important. We've got house girls, young people, they are being paid peanuts. This is ridiculous, is unthinkable. So employment law, it matters a lot. Discrimination, it matters a lot. As we stand for now, Uganda is about nepotism. You don't come from West, you are not going to have a job. You don't know Museveni, you are not going to have a job. You don't know NRM, you are not going to have a job. So nepotism has killed the employment. And as you can see, I know Museveni's daughter has got a contract for sending people to Arabic country. I've got that letter. 2, she was given an extension. She's the one behind. We have Minister Mkwaya, she doesn't care. They only send people. Why would we send people abroad? We shouldn't send people abroad. Uganda should work in Uganda. We should work in Uganda to develop. We should work in Uganda to enjoy Uganda. We have got lovely weather. We have got lovely people. Home is the best. Why do Ugandans go abroad and work? This is why Bobby Wine says that when he becomes president, he's got a plan to bring back diaspora people. And he's going to bring diaspora people, putting them on competitive rates. Diaspora people now, they know what to do in Uganda. Their operations, when you put them in operations, because they know what to do, managers, team leaders, whatever. That is what it's going to be. And then equality. They must be equal in Uganda when it talks about employment law, whatever. Equality, that anybody can have a job. Guess what? In the UK, now people, if you apply for a job and you say you are gay, you are bisexual, you get a job than somebody who says I'm heterosexual. So equality matters in Uganda as it stands for now. Uganda now is too much divided on cultures. You hear Mao going on in northern Uganda. You hear Museveni, you know what. So in Uganda, what you see now, in Uganda, Ruhanga, Rwabiona, Habyarimana, Areden, Dododo. Ge mawulire ge manya gokka kati ge tuwulira be bakulira emulago be bakulira wa. So employment is very, very important. So we need to know that legislation must be there, minimum wage and discrimination. And number 6, retirement. Museveni should retire now. We should retire people. We should set retirement age. That is within the government limit. Set up retirement age, they have to retire people. And that comes to me as a policy maker. I'm gonna put their policies for people that if you don't retire at 65, you lose your incentive. If you retire at 65, I give you 15 hours for work, I give you this much. So my policy will be balanced. So retirement is not outside of government hands. Number 7, it's about pension. It's about pension. There must be a pension for people to retire. Not, and Babas has got so much, ex-government, they have got so much incentive about pensions. But a government should be, we hear NSSF, the money is gone. People, they've never had the money. Their money is gone. They take them to Parliament. When you make a saving, it's yourself. We're going to ask now NUP nominated Basalirwa to be the leader of Eritrea. He should come up with a plan, with a policy that how are we going to retire old people? Are we going to have community care? How are we going to look after our people? In Uganda, we have got 2%. 2% only, less than 1 million, they are above 65. So we must put a package that attracts people to retire. Because unfortunately, in Uganda, we have got older people in the places of young people. So how are you going to create jobs? If you have second vice president, and then you have Museveni, 70-something. You have Janet, 70-something. Matia Kasaja is there. Moses Ali is there. Ruhakana Lugunda is there. So everybody, older. And these young people, they don't have anything in their head. All they know is politics for survival, politics for convenience. That is not what we want. A government has got a lot on its disposal to create jobs. There is no way. That is the start. The government is a key player. And then number 8 is in number 8, finance. My friend Matia Kasaja. I got somebody who takes him my videos and he gives me inbox and he gives me credit. Thank you, Matia Kasaja. So Minister of Finance is very, very important because he's the one who releases money for project. We don't want this circle. Circle is keeping people into poverty. These people, they created poverty. They have not created anything else. How can you make Salim? What is his credentials? What is his, where has he been? What school has he been? What qualification? If they create wealth, I'm going to sit home. Let them create wealth. This circle is to keep people as NRM. This circle is to keep people into poverty. But we need more than that. That somebody, we pay school fees. Children, they go to school. After school, they come out. They can be able to have decent jobs. Number 9 is about preparation of young people for work. We mentor them, we prepare them for work. We are going to create apprenticeship. By the age of 10, 14, apprenticeship, you know what to do. You have like a glimmer. You have a taste of what is going to happen. And then we have to create work experience. That is the government when they should give these companies incentives that, okay, if you take on these children, 16 to 19, 20 to 25, you give them experience. We are going to reduce taxes for you. That is how it works. That is what government is there for. So when you talk about remuneration, it's about setting up wages decent. If a nurse has got a job that they are paid, okay, maybe a million, let's say million. But then their incentive, they can get on the property ladder. They can buy a vehicle. They can have a loan. They can have things in the community that will motivate people to stay in Uganda and work. But you cannot go and work when you earn a million and your expense is 2 million and you don't have any hand. The government has always must have a hand to help people. And people, if we don't work, how are we going to develop our country? What is the economic growth? Economic growth, where is it going to come from? It's not about government. It's about the whole thing. You set it together. So we need to look at all these that they're in the hands of the government. I've got 10 points. I'm on number 8, finance. Number 8, decentralization. We want decentralization to come back. The things, now we have centralization. That is what Museveni did. This is what you hear. The State House has got a budget of 566 million per day and has got a supplementary 872 million per day. So per day, a government takes 1 trillion, 1.5 is what they get a day. But because centralization, this is why you hear we go to State House to get money, to send for money, because all the money is sent there. But what we need by centralization, power comes into local. You go Masaka Saza, they decide, you get everything. That the government doesn't have to decide. These are local matters. But government has already, what they have done, they have hijacked Museveni now because he's a dictator. It's about centralization. Tricia, Uganda is breeding. Sela, we are waiting for the President Bobby Wine. We went him to Rwanda, not to Uganda. Hi, guys. Sela, good morning to you. Thank you very much. Then in number 9, bank loans for business. Uganda, they call it Bubu. But is it Bubu? No, it isn't. NUP manifesto has promised younger entrepreneur. They have promised them to have them loan, to support them, to help. Uganda has got so many young people. On one of this platform I am on is JB Muwonge. For 5 years, I was somewhere very far away. And I put on JB Muwonge video, and they said that he's got another qualification, but by lack of job, he found himself doing IT. Now he's our communication command center. And JB is doing a big job. You want to fight anything, giving out information is number 1. For me, I think NUP is standing right bang on JB. He has got a platform. I said to you, when I wake up, is the first platform I go to, because everybody must share with the JB, or anything latest, it will be there on JB. So that is where I go. I see what has happened. If there is no live, and on his channel is where I can see, I can get that option to have live. So JB, so business entrepreneur, we have to help these young people. We've got young people with good ideas. We don't want these vendors, marketing, wherever, street vendors. No, we have young people entrepreneurs. They are coming up with the ideas. They are dynamic. They come with inventing a lot of things. You saw this young man who came up with a pump soap dispenser during lockdown. That one, you give in money, you support money. We are, unfortunately, young people who come with a good idea, they take them to Museveni. Museveni will promise them 3 million, will not give them. Then they come in the public, they cry. Your ideas, you have got brain. Why would you take it to somebody who doesn't have brain? Let us think. Let us become independent. We ought to be independent. So it is within the government to create jobs, my people. NUP, we are going to create 5 million jobs. People, they take it what? Under this lockdown, I would have created 8 million. Hot potato. Uganda is a virgin country. There is a lot. Even if it was COVID, there was a lot of opportunities to create jobs for health workers in the community, logistics, lot of jobs for procurement, lot of jobs, supply, PPI. I would have created a lot of jobs like 8 million. But Museveni is smart. NUP is promising 5 million jobs over 5 years. When you have young people, you have to look at young people. You cannot ignore them. This is the problem where Museveni is having. They don't understand NRM. Until you understand that deny people right to work, our constitution says right to work, not being discriminated. Anybody entitled. Why would you deny people right to work? And in Uganda, we need to have civil servants. We don't need to have political servants. Civil servant, you can go to work in NRM headquarters. If you have the skills, the knowledge, you can occupy that job. This is why developed countries, they go beyond. They have got civil servant. Civil servant, they will see something they don't like, they will whistle blow. They will tell the whole world what is happening. So civil servant is very, very important. When the Parliament of Uganda started, we had 26 ex-teachers, ex-civil servants. But right now we have people, 20 what, they grow up as being politicians. So we need to start creating jobs for the people. And NUP is going to create jobs. It's not a joke. Because of that way, it sets up. We are going to look at Quad A. You look at agriculture, it contributes 70% of to our economy. So it's a government responsibility to create jobs. One thing I want to take away from people, when I say this, they don't take it well, is about ignorance and knowing your rights. Our principle says NUP is going to fight ignorance. We are all ignorant. Once you don't know it's your right to work in Uganda, you never demand for that job. Once you don't know how the government is meant to create a job for you, you will never demand it. Once you don't know that the government is meant to give you a top-up or incentive, you will never know. In Greece, people, they work from 7 to 11 p.m. But at the end of the month, they earn 600 euros. I can't believe it. They rely on people to give them tip. But then after, when winter comes, they have to go home because their country relies too much on tourism. But what happens? The government will give them incentive, will top up. So in Uganda, instead of giving money, sending Olanya, giving money, we are going to open up projects for people to work. We are going to employ people. For me, I know how I'm going to employ all these young people. I'm going to get them into employment. Some I'm going to take them into school. Look at these young people, too much talented. They've got too much anger. Give them boxing, they punch, poo-poo, anger management, but it's a job. Give them athletics, they run, they sweat, they do what? They will not, you not have any problem. We have sports, we have athletics. How can you ignore agriculture? We need to give people affordable loans so that the people, they can leave their border and go back into the villages. You never decongest Kampala when people, they don't have anywhere to go. And another point why it is within government hands to create jobs. We should employ Ugandans, not employ Chinese. What is this word? Boo-boo, buy Uganda, do what? We should do, this is what NUP says in its manifesto. We are going to support local business people, local businesses. Somebody wants just 100 million. We are going to take out this what? These people who borrow money at a very high rate. What is it called? Read by Salim Saleh is the owner. Microfinance. We are going to take it away. You know, was it the mother or the grandmother of Barack Obama? He went to that Muslim country, is it Malaysia? They were there. She's the one who started that thing, microfinance. But she didn't start it on that high rate, borrowing people, getting that big loan, big rates. No, it wasn't like that. So we are going to make affordable loans, which are going to attract people to go back in their rural areas. We've got a lot of land, agriculture to rely on. If you know what is 70%, invest in that. But I tell you what, Matia Kasaja is at big fault for not giving in money for good project, for not investing. You can see we saw posters 3 years ago. People they qualified and they said they were wearing gown. I've qualified, but where to go? Where to go? But people they call it political stand or attention seekers. No, it wasn't attention seekers, but it's a real. Uganda has got one of the highest unemployment. And when we go to work, let us change our attitude. Are we going to be one of these people who are going to see somebody doing something wrong and you report that person? Have we reached to that extent? We haven't reached to that extent. So we want to take away, we will reduce our parliament, go back and see legislative agenda, what it says. And it talks volume. We are having a small shadow cabinet 31 opposed to NRM 82. So NRM is creating advisors 147 from 7 inspection labs. So when you see job creation is very, very important because everybody has got right to work. And if you work, we are going to be independent. No one can influence you. No one can intimidate you. No one can threaten you. And the work we are looking for high earning work, not low earning work. For me, I don't want this market that women, we are meant to work into market without toilets, without anything. You go there, you don't wash. Museveni said women, they can stay in the market without offering them toilet. You offered them tents, but no toilet, no personal care. So as a woman, where can we stand? We need to develop tourism, that Uganda will make it a touristic country. I've met so many people, they tell me I was in Kenya, I was in Tanzania, but not in Uganda. So we need to create that tourism industry, not what it is like they are selling Bubina as Chiwanda. No, we are going to create tourism that we design tours that what I'm familiar with. We design tours and tourists will come to Uganda, will Google and they will say, oh, we are creating a tour to go where Idi Amin was born. We are creating Kasensero. We are creating this. We are not like we've got so much that people, they want to come in Uganda and see. But the information is not there. The information is not scarce. We should set up people. We should give jobs for people in survey to ask everybody, would you like to go to what? Would you like to do this? What would you like about Uganda? That is how we design. This week, I have to give it to Comrade Nena. You were my NUP of last week. The topic you covered, health, that was a blaster. That was what we need. If you put education, health, you create jobs, housing, and transportation, you can't go wrong. The country cannot go wrong. But what Museveni is doing is creating hitman, is creating killers. We don't want that, fellow Ugandans. We want jobs for every Ugandan, that somebody goes to school and knows that there is a job available. But now people, they start school, they are worried, what am I going to do? You can hear people, they want to get married, and then all of a sudden, they don't have any money. They bring the budget. They even want you to buy them underwear, bow tie. And how can you get married if you start in debt? So that key issues, they are always there. So as I said to you, we look at knowledge. That is education. We look at skilling education, legislation. We look at, let us revamp all these jobs. Let us revamp and resurrect the railway station in Uganda. That will be a lot of jobs. Let it go Kasese, let it go Guru, let it come to Sakarwa Mese, let it go to Kabale. And we create jobs, shifty jobs that we have like trains, instead of having this Bombardier which is failing every day, which is running into problem. No, let us create. In Kampala, we have got Pioneer. Let us have these Pioneer buses everywhere instead of buying the airplane. Let us have them in every city because transport is a public health issue. So let us revamp and resurrect all these dead institutions. UTC buses. Let us bring these. They brought us Kayola. It's not there. Let us bring in UTC buses. People, they have job. We have them training to qualify as driving license, as driving instructor, those in driving school. We have jobs for drivers. They drive 8 hours. Then somebody takes over and the country will be running 24 hours. Let us resurrect, let us revamp. This is what we need to bring back, our national institutions that which are closer to the people, which are meaningful, which the ordinary people is going to work. Another point, key point, let us offer contracts to Ugandans, tenders. Muhoozi wife was given a tender to deliver oxygen. We don't have it. But you know what? That money is going to come back. I'm coming back this week. Our principal said everybody will be accountable. I'm telling you, everybody will be accountable. And then another key issues should be the stats should be available. We should have people with a database that is not going to be manipulated, inflated. We are going to create a lot of jobs for young people to go on survey, to put data entry, so that when you put in your name, Demi Kiza, you can see everything about me. Only what you need to see. You put in Demikiza, you know what it is. You know where I come from. In Rwanda, you cannot disguise yourself because they have got a Nangamuntu. And that Nangamuntu connects to your great children. Why can't we do it? Sweden, they have got what they call, is it special number? Is gone out. UK, they have got what they call national insurance number. That number we are going to give to people. That is why I said we register. That is within the government. The government is running away. Another key issue, we are going to reach all corners. So for me, I don't want to speak for too long because people lecturing is not helping. People, a lot. What I have said, what it is. So as I end up, jobs is a government responsibility to create jobs. Employment is a right for everybody. Everybody needs a decent job. It is a start in our lives that we can start. And it's one way we are going to keep away from bribes, from being compromised, from being intimidated. Because the jobs, once you earn, no one can stop you. So everybody is entitled. So when I say it's a government responsibility to create jobs, you come back to me of all these 10 points if I've got it wrong. Uganda government is not doing that because they are scared. Museveni is scared anybody who emerges. Museveni is scared of anybody who can emerge. So, but what I'm telling Museveni, we can get decent jobs, you can have your president, and it will not threaten your president. But in Uganda, people, they look at things when they say, oh, it's jobs. It's like people, when you come up with a good idea, they say, oh, you want to take the job, we can't give it. No, we are not looking for positions. For me, at the age of 21, I was acting superintendent of Masaka Hospital. So I've done all this leadership, and when people they come to elect, I'll never give myself and I'll never accept because I know the responsibility is big. This is why I feel very sorry for Robert Chagwe, because being a leader is too much. The burden is too much. For me, I can't. Now I'm a free woman. So employment, let us look ahead. But even we need to be working. We need to change our mindset. I haven't said that today. You need to change your mindset. Wake up on time. When you go to work. Stop stealing. Stop being compromised. Work. In Uganda, you buy a taxi, you give it to somebody. Next time, 2 months, he's bought 2 taxes out of you. And he gives you your vehicle when it's broken. That is not where we are going. We are going to somewhere where we'll be accountable. Accountability and services. So we deliver and you be accountable. The jobs in Uganda, they are there. Museveni told us before lockdown, we had 2 factories. And now he tells us we have 157. Where are they? Where are they? We have a factory of mobile phone. They were sold to Morocco. Where are they? What is it for Uganda? So what is that word, Bubu? You tell us Salim Saleh is a wealthy creation. And how can he create? He gives people to man. So I've got lots of lots of things to say, but my sympathy for Ugandans who are unemployed, my sympathy for Ugandans who are struggling to be employed. My sympathy is people who cannot see where they go. My sympathy for Ugandans who are abroad in diaspora, especially in Arabic countries, who are suffering, working under difficult situation. My sympathies is for Uganda in diaspora who would like to go back to Uganda, but they don't know where to start. My sympathies for Uganda that they find it very hard to work, but there is work. Bannayuganda abalenzi muzuuke muve ku ebyo, going Kampala to get money, bribe you, doing what? Just get up and get stuck. When you start working, don't think it's gonna work out today. It will come to work. And also another point I want to make before I leave, Ugandans stop being sabotaged to other Ugandans when it comes to employment. It's not right. You cannot stop. You see, white people, they don't like black people, but they will never stop a black man being employed in a way. They will never stop bread being on your table. So we need to be that. I love you very much. I'm gonna be on Demik's this week about rice. I've got some topics. So I'll be back on a Choto. I'll see Pam Kawa when she's got a slot for me. Thank you very much. So it's the government responsibility to create jobs. Don't make it an excuse. Let them do those 10 points and we see where it takes us. You will see. You will see. They will be, you have, these are the foundation before you create the actual jobs. These are the foundation you need in place and everything will be economy. Okay, salute. People power, our power. Thank you very much for your sharing, for your comments. Hello, Pro Madi, Inshallah. Salo Genda Goria prayers. Jaffa Makanga. Good morning, Jaffa Mkwano. Owulira otya? Jaffa nsonyiwa. Nsonyiwa. Nsonyiwa mukwano. Ndi safari. Ndi safari. Mukobi this morning ate nzirayo naye tuwe n'aba nfunye akaseera nja kukubira akasimu naye si kangu naye byonna byonna work. Salute people, power, our power. NUP everywhere. NUP, thanks for your comment. Have a lovely day. Oh my God, 42 minutes. No, that's not me. Salute.